in the spirit of keeping everything real and sharing the struggles that I'm currently going through, what I'm learning, how I'm addressing it, and how I'm just reflecting, I'm going to tell you about something that happened this week. I write a lot. I journal. That's the whole basis of this podcast. And in journaling, I'm able to organize my thoughts and understand the chaos that's going on in my head so that I can not only make sense of it, but so that I can move forward and also identify and hopefully address any underlying patterns that I find. This is an entry that I wrote this week. I realized that I'm still seeking validation and approval from my dad. I realized that when I tell him what I'm doing, I'm hoping for a response that validates me and motivates me to keep me moving forward. A response that gives me the head nod of approval. I did that today. I sent him a text and said, hey, this is the thing I'm doing. Here's the link. And I realized inside what I was saying was, hey, Dad, watch this. Like, look at me. Is this okay? What do you think? Are you proud of me? And I only realized it when I was disappointed in the response that I got, because I realized what I had been lacking. I was able to identify it. I thought I was lacking approval, and I was still behaving from the mindset that my output equals my worth. I remember being a little girl looking for validation, making sure that I was behaving appropriately, in line, doing the right thing, never misstepping. And I did that for a long time. I followed the plan. I went to school. I executed as perfectly as I could. Grades, studying, taking my career seriously. And then I pivoted into business, and I still sought validation. But now I had other means of getting it. I got validation from revenue I was making, from mirrored relationships with entrepreneurs who were on a similar path with similar problems, doubts, or fears. And in a toxic relationship, I sought validation for my inner voice that said, this isn't okay, this isn't normal, by telling friends or family, but that wasn't enough. It didn't overcome the limiting self-beliefs yet, that I was worthy of more. And even in leaving, I still sought validation from friends and family again, that I had done the right thing from him, because in my uncertainty of leaving, I wanted validation that he still wanted me, which is toxic as fuck. And then it was conversations with ChatGPT. I'd read it, my journals. I'd ask for feedback, for questions, for closure, for an understanding of why that I don't think there will ever be an answer to. But what I was seeking was external validation, and I didn't understand that until ChatGPT actually called me out on it, and it said, it's the same thing. And everything changed when I paused, and I stopped requiring validation from anyone but myself. Or so I thought. I stopped worrying about what other people think. I stopped worrying about what ifs. And once I found my vision, I found my voice. Once I had my values, I knew my purpose, and the roadmap was more crystal clear than anything I have ever created. Seeking validation was the last straw that's been holding me back. And if you came to this podcast looking for validation and reassurance that I think my relationship is toxic, or I want to be able to relate to this woman, here's the signs of a toxic relationship again, hear that it's okay to be soft, hear all the things, I'm here for you and I will keep sharing. But I want you to know that you don't need it. You need to go inside yourself and give yourself permission to be, permission to exist exactly as you are. You need to forgive yourself, to forgive everyone who hurt you. And in turn, forgive yourself for all the things that you found shame in. Let go. Surrender. And it's easier said than done. I've worked so hard on not needing the external validation. And then this week, it hit me like a sack of bricks when that little voice was telling me that I was still lacking it, when I didn't get the response that I wanted from my dad. For anybody who's wondering how to find her, how to find that little girl inside of you, how to help her heal, she's the little girl that gives you that voice that when you're disappointed about something, she's the one that's saying what she wanted. She's the one that's saying, hey, look at me. I want you to be proud of me. Is this okay? Are you okay with what I'm doing? Watch me go. The last 6 months of my life have been a testament to what happens when you slow down, reconnect with yourself, and rise. You radiate. You find your inner mystic. You create. You tap into flow. You find abundance. You find peace. You find joy again. And that's the most important one, because I used to think joy didn't exist for me anymore. But you find it again. So take the wild way home. Though it may be short, I hope that this entry was helpful to somebody who is maybe working on improving their awareness of their triggers or their unmet needs, or who's just had a hard time connecting to their inner younger wounded child or just their inner voice because they've been shutting it out for so long. And I get that. When I was numb and detached, I didn't hear anything. It was so far gone. I had to sit there and go through such darkness that when I finally let it all in, I couldn't stop crying for a week. I couldn't get out of bed. But when you let it all in and you feel it, you can finally work through it. And when you feel something like that, you can understand and communicate with it what it's telling you that you need, whether it's what you need to let go of, what you need to forgive, what you need to find gratitude for. You can do this too.